Hello, everybody. Welcome. But before we start, there are some disclaimers I have. First of all, I do not have the box, which I would usually show at the beginning of the review. It is a classic old style Studio Series box, which I actually very appreciate the design of them now that we have the new ones. I don't say the new ones are bad, I just appreciate the old ones a lot more. And I do not have those two blaster things that are supposed to represent the ship that he would get from Unicron because I don't really care about them. This guy wouldn't have them in his loadout. So let's actually take a look. The Matrix is the mold that you get with 86 Hot Rod also. I think that this one you also get with Ultra Magnus and Optimus Prime. I just do not know do they have the painted version like this. But Paint really does good job on it. It is just a chain. But it works, it's something like rubbery, but it's not stretchy. So you cannot damage those two spike kind of things on his head when you put it on. Now he his blaster is a bit too big for my liking. I do not like the security of the connection here, but you can you see this little strip of paint in between the tab and this part of the gun and this. It is basically supposed to tab in and hold it very well, but it wouldn't do for me for a long amount of time, and I just do not like to have to do that with painted parts. That's absolutely stupid to me. But the gun is. It just looks like the gun. I personally like if this was a bit smaller, but I don't really care. It still looks cool on his arm, especially because how sleek it is. Now, for Galvatron himself, he looks nice. They haven't yet started the trend with the less detail to be more screen accurate, which I love because I love accuracy. But there are some parts that are weirdly pale and lifeless. But I still do appreciate him because he was like that in the cartoon. The toy was probably like that, the original ones. And his head sculpt, I I like everything about it, but it kinda looks like he's Chinese when you look at his eyes and you really think about the Chinese person. He really looks like he's Chinese. These shoulder parts are movable, and I don't know, am I tripping? But I think that these are like asymmetrical. I mean, the space between his head and the shoulder pieces are varying between the two of them. And there is nothing fun. I do not own any of the other molds, but I think the detail is same on them, and it's really good. I mean, I don't care about the back. I want to be seeing his back. I like the little spiky thing at the top. It's also useful in the alt mode, but not very much. I love the insignia, the Decepticon insignia, which you cannot see. And there's some cool mechanical detail piece here. Now you have the skirt, which is not very fun. I absolutely love his thighs because they just scream like Triptychon just made new ones for me. And then you have his legs, which again look like straight like they're stripped out of the movie. Now for the articulation, he doesn't have very much, but I really do think it's enough. His head turns 360, can look up a bit, and even less down, so not much possibility in that part. These do move a little, so you can make a cool pose with them, but they're not really interesting. These are some universal joints, as you saw 360, can do that, and also do that. Then I have bicep swivels, 360, and if I want his head straight, I have this little tab, this little port, and I connect it like this. I can't use the thigh swivel, I can't access it simply, but it keeps the hand very straight, which is a cool detail. Not even a detail, just a really cool feature. He has a double jointed elbow. Everything is 90 degrees, but this is more of like a hinge, a ratchet, but it's not very, it doesn't make the click, but it is how it feels, it has clicks. Then these curved pieces can move. His waist does 360. No, sorry, it can't do because of that back piece, but it could do in a theory. This part moves up, even though I don't really need to see him like that. Okay, now these kick out 90 degrees, kick back less than 90. Then you have to move the skirts up, man, a little bit over 90 degrees, and they are again universal, which I like. It really contributes to the design. Now I have a thigh swivel, 360 degrees. I have a knee bend of 90 degrees. I don't really like the hollowness, but I think that this part of his armor really fixes that for me. Now I have some very weird ankle joints. I don't like them because they usually pop the like that, which is used for the transformation, which is basically the stand plate thingy that he has at the back, and these really don't work as intended, these hilts at the back, because they usually won't be straight like this, they will be a little up, which makes them stand that bit less stable because they aren't really serving their function. But it was also very weird to get in a pose, to me at least. I mean, these ankle tilts are just so awkward. It's so awkward getting him, like his legs are asymmetrical. But that aside, it's time to commence his transformation so he can blast a Starscream. Now, I would like to start from the arms. You rotate. You see, you can put the hands in, put it in. Same for the other side. Now, you use his elbows to get this tab into this port. Like this. It can be a little hard to align it properly sometimes, but you will get it eventually. You won't break anything, don't worry. Okay, for the other side, done it. Now, these threads, I didn't exactly know how, but basically you rotate them like this, pull them out of the bag, and they sort of like click into there. They do not make a click, but they should make a click. Again, you hinge it out and connect it here like this. Now it made a click. Now for the legs, turn them back. You see these parts, you can make them open like this. Then you would use this hinge with some amazing detail like this, same on the other side, and then they would connect here like this. Same for the other side. No, I won't edit it out. That must stay in the video. No, actually, no. You fold these in nicely. You rotate the legs a bit. And they connect in two places, here and here. Like this. Now that they are done, time to move to the part that I couldn't learn for the first try, but got it quickly. Now, you take this, you disconnect, you wiggle and wobble this to connect into that tab, like this. You leave it to be. No, you actually don't. I think you have to, yeah, you hinge it up. That's like, it has two hinges, so you have to like hinge it, wiggle, wobble. Now, oh my gosh, connect. There you go. Now you have to take a hold of his arm, this section, and pull it out like this. Same for the other side, and they will wait for a minute. Now you take this part and split it here. You disconnect his chest plate and you will turn this around. Make sure that this front piece properly clicks into place, because it has a design place and it is the middle thing. You pull this down, close this section up, you have that. Now you will rotate this, and now this will stay here. And wait a bit, this will be rotated, it will stand there nicely, pull down, and it will connect on these two clips like this, very securely. Now this will connect into this like this. Same for the other side. Now I have to connect, there are some really small clips with some really small holes. Basically you clip that into the chest, just push it to the side and you should hear a click. It is overall very stable, which I like. Now I don't care how you position those, let them stay here. Now you have these parts. I don't sometimes use them, but basically pull out the legs, pull down the feet, pull down these parts, and you can click that into place for accuracy. And then you have Galvatron's alt mode. Now to put his cannon on, you take this piece and plug it in there, and then this one, plug it in here, and you have Galvatron's alt mode. It is very neat. It is just basically his alt mode. Weirdly, there is nothing interesting about it. He has wheels. You see one there, and two down there. There's nothing interesting about it. That's like a little awkward, that you can just see that when you look down. But I usually ignore that. The detail is pretty nice. As you can see, everything just remains so well. These hollowness you wouldn't usually notice, but I don't really like that it exists at all. Same detail really just flows all over him. And now to take the chain and to have it on him. It is really nice. And just out of context, when I was showing my mother this figure, I showed him with his chain on. And she said something that I can't tell now because I don't want to be restricted yet. Basically, it is that. I maybe tell that once that I know that I'm a free man and can, because I'm already canceled on a few places. Now, this is Blast Effect compatible. I forgot to say that. That is really, really niche. Because you can... I didn't actually try the ones from Omega Supreme. I should try them once. I should have a picture of that. And overall, just a really nice alt mode. Now, time for the comparisons. Now, this is Galvatron. And for the 3 comparisons I have, I will just show some of the G1's figures next to him. Oh, he can't really fit so you can see him. Here is him compared to Grimlock from the 86 line. I'm actually very happy with Grimlock. I will soon make a review of his, maybe tomorrow. No, tomorrow I will upload this. Yeah, I'll probably record that tomorrow. Now, Dragstrip. And air raid. Now, he is a little bigger than I thought he would be, but he's really just in scale with everyone else. I do not own 86 Prime or Megatron, but I think that he would be in a scale with both of them. Now, that is basically it. I didn't hear of any special breakage issues with Galvatron, and I honestly think that if you purely want a version of Galvatron that is from the 86 line, this is the one you should get. Even if you have a Kingdom one, I don't think that you shouldn't buy this Galvatron if you want him just because he's 86, because of his paint scheme and such. I would only buy him if I wasn't interested in owning 86 figures. Like, if I had the Kingdom one, Legacy reissue, or any other version of him that is Galvatron, basically something similar to this color scheme. And again, I do not like 86. I wouldn't say that this is worth to pick up. But he's an enjoyable figure. Basically, my quest with figures is to find one that I can basically play it with all the time. That I can look at his articulation and transform him all the time and not get bored. He didn't come as close as some other figures that I own, but he is pretty good and pretty enjoyable. Now, thank you all for watching. If you even watched, you may drop a like, you may even subscribe. I would be very happy. I would like to kickstart this, and it would really mean a lot to me. Again, I would like to make reviews just so I can share my opinion on these figures. Bye.